Hello guys, Omni here. A little reminder before the video, if you'd like my initial reactions right after seeing a movie or a TV show or anything like that, make sure to follow me on the Stardust app. It is free to download, free to sign up. You can post your own 30-second reactions as well. There's a lot of things that I post there that doesn't get to make it to the channel because there's just a lot of content to take in. So it's a fun little thing that you can do, and like I said, it's free to sign up. There's a link to mine down in the description. I hope to see you there, and on to the video. Hello guys, Omni here. It's time to talk about the second film that I saw today, and between the two films, this was honestly the one I was much more excited to see, and it's the one I'd heard less about. With Crawl, there was enough positive buzz to get me to disregard my reaction to my eye-rolling reactions to the trailer and actually go check out the movie, and I had a really good time. And honestly, between the two films, I'm going to go ahead and let you know, I had a better time watching Crawl. And the other film that I saw was Stuber. And I was prepped up and built up and kind of just excited to see this film from the trailers because it looked like a dumb, fun buddy cop film. And I gotta say, it's dumb. That's about all I can come away from saying it. Honestly, it was such a disappointment for me. I've talked to a couple of people who have enjoyed it. I've seen some people actually really get into it. And I personally just couldn't get into most of this film. And it's not a bad movie. I still enjoyed some bits. It still has some redeeming qualities. There's definitely some jokes that do land in it. Overall, the plot, the structure, the pacing are all quite terrible. And I think for me, the best part of the movie, and one of the reasons I really want to see this, is I love Dave Bautista. He's grown to be one of my favorite actors here in the recent years. And just as a person, he's always been quite interesting, humble. From anything I've seen, that's just my experience so far with how I've seen him interact with people, with fans, with the community, and all of that, as well as how much he's actually trying to get out there and do some real acting. And this kind of comes into play, and I love every bit of his dialogue. Every one of his deliveries is solid. I think his physicality and the action that he brings into the role works. His comedic timing is just impeccable. And I think being in Guardians really, really helped him kind of fine tune that with Drax. Almost to the point where in Guardians 2, he was almost cracking too many jokes, but it was still entertaining, and they all pretty much landed for me. And I liked all of his bits throughout this movie. What was surprising about it for me was I feel like Dave Bautista stole the show a lot more than you would think Kumail Nanjiani would have done. I like him a lot. His stand-ups are hilarious. I like him in all the other things that he's done, and I don't know if it's necessarily maybe the material and the script or maybe just the directing in general, but I feel like he wasn't really utilized all that well. There's some moments where I don't know if it's in the script or if he's ad-libbing and riffing like he kind of tends to do in a lot of these films, but there's a lot of these moments where I feel like he quips back or has starts off a joke really strong, and then keeps riffing, keeps continuing to the joke to the point where it's not funny anymore, and that happens quite a few times. He does get some laughs out of you. His little side plot about him trying to hook up with this chick that he's essentially friend-zoned by is hilarious. The way it all pans out is very cliched and tropey of these types of films, and this movie doesn't shy away from the tropes. It nails them all, and I'm not going to spoil it regardless, but there's a lot of classic, buddy cop film tropes that come into play. A lot of classic 80s kind of police storylines that come into play from those kind of action films. And it plays with those kind of tones really well, I think. And this movie's rated R, and it doesn't shy away from it. This movie is surprisingly gory, and that's some of the enjoyable bits of this. Like I said, this movie is dumb. It's just not as fun. It's not, I don't know what it is. It's just, I didn't find it as hilarious or as funny as I thought it was going to be. And the plot never was coherent or made any sense. And it was hard keeping me in the film. And like I said, Dave Bautista was, for me, carrying this movie. And for some other people, I've heard other people say that he was the weak part of the film. So it's really, film is subjective in general. This is just my opinion. But my takeaway was that I thought Dave Bautista and his performance through it was solid and really kind of carried the film. And Kumail Nanjiani, his bits were just kind of like mostly hit or miss. They were mostly hits, I gotta say. Like, this movie's not a train wreck by any stretch of the imagination. It's a decent movie. Between any of the releases that are out right now in theaters, this is probably at the bottom of my list, barring some things that probably don't have any kind of coverage. Crawl, honestly, I would recommend above this movie. Obviously, as well, these are all considering you haven't seen Far From Home yet, you haven't seen Midsummer, because that is a beautiful film, and I know a lot of people are kind of dissuaded by seeing that because of the trailers or the tone or some of the responses to it. It's not for everybody, but honestly, it's one of my favorite films of this year. And this movie, I was actually excited. It's been a long time since I've actually went to see a comedy in a theater, and I was really sold on this dynamic between Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani, and it just didn't deliver on that level for me. This feels like a good, rental, or wait for it to be on Netflix, Prime Video, whatever streaming service is probably going to pick this up once it's kind of out of its theater cycle. I personally would recommend not going and spending the money to go to the theater, get snacks, the gas, or any of that for this film. There are a lot better options out in the theaters and the showings and the screens out there right now that you could check out that I would much rather you spend your money on. But that's just me. Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different view. So really, I'm just going to put this on to you guys. But for me, at the end of the day, I've got to give this a C. It's about a C. It's not like I said, it's not a train wreck. It's not a terrible movie. Was it bad? Do I regret spending my money? No, I don't. Not really. But if you're not sure about how you're going to feel about it, go see something else. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's what I'm going to say at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and switch it over to you guys. Let me know if you've seen this film. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know everybody's other point of view on this, because like I said, I've seen a lot of splits on this, and it's just really striking too, because it's from a lot of people that I thought that I feel like I have similar views with, and it's really strange to me, and it's almost made me kind of question. I'm like, am I just too old for this now? Anyway, if you like this video, make sure to support the channel, to like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comments what you didn't like, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.